Good evening. It's 7:06 p.m. It is July 5th. I believe today is Wednesday. So I just wanted to come on here and make this video really quick and just kind of talk about what's going on in my mind. I'm still dealing with a lot of disturbing anxiety over this issue, and I'm putting myself in the shoes of my perps. I don't like these people, but I'm looking at it from their point of view, from a very narcissistic point of view, why they don't understand why this is just so disgusting to me and so mind-blowing. It's because I feel as though the arrogance of the people who get involved in these crimes or whatever. See, I believe that my ex, he was my ex-boyfriend. Bruce was only my boyfriend. We did get engaged, but we never got married. We never got legally married. I gave him his ring back. But they create these lies, or they try to give the impression that they have some sort of romantic relationship with the target. And this is something that is very commonly used in domestic stalking cases, and this is one of these cases, right? It is an issue of domestic stalking, and you tell people these things, and because they're friends of so and so, this sort of thing, this is where it becomes a problem. You know what I mean? Just like their friend, the person who maybe is the business owner or the manager, whoever arranged for you to have that job, they might have a good relationship with your perp, right? And their relationship, the dynamic of it, the activity, the things that they discuss, the things that the camaraderie between them might have something to do with something completely different than how your relationship is made up with your perp. Okay, like for example, I'm like mushy gushy, squeezing my son's cheeks when I'm around him. I'm very motherly when I'm around my son. But obviously, I'm not a motherly person when I'm at work. You're different people around other people. You know what I mean? You're not going to be, if you're really lovey-dovey with your spouse, you're not going to be lovey-dovey with your coworker, unless of course you want to get slapped with a sexual harassment lawsuit, right? But what I'm saying is we're different people around certain people. Now, I'm the person who is hated in this situation. I'm the target, and they have their own motives, okay? So, I don't know, Bruce probably said that he was married to me or whatever, or that he pretended to have a better relationship with his child than he really does, or whatever. This is the kind of stuff that goes on. Whatever the case is, I'm not legally married to Bruce. And it disturbed me, the whole thing disturbed me. Losing my job over at Murray Family Farms, I'm going to say the name, I don't give a fuck. Losing my job at Murray Family Farms was traumatizing to me, because I knew that I was following the correct protocols, and I knew that I was doing the right thing, okay? And every single time the harassment continued on. It continued on. You don't have to like my hair. That's your choice. I know Terry is very opinionated about people's hair. If you're a black person, she wants to tell you what to do. You know what I mean? And there's debate even within the black community as to whether we should wear our hair natural. And then we have some people who, of course, wear wigs and hair extensions and whatever. I mean, it's a mixed bag. There's always going to be people who have their preferences and whatever. Now, in my case, I do things for convenience. And I do want to look nice. I think people should be presentable. And when I look in the mirror and I'm looking at my hair and how frazzled it is, and I've tried working with my hair, and I shouldn't have to justify why or my choices. Because to do so, that's harassment. Now, I know you come from an old school time where, you can do whatever you wanted to, and people weren't able to really articulate exactly or pinpoint the exact issues that's going on between black and white people. Okay, and I am not a political person. I'm not somebody who's trying to raise hell. I left Murray Family Farms on the terms I was following the terms of the contract. I didn't say anything. I wanted to just hurry and get another job. You kept the shit moving on. What this was a huge harassment issue, as well as the issue of how I choose to take care of my body. Okay, I'm not Bruce's wife, and I don't appreciate somebody telling me what to do with my hair and what to do with my body. Okay, if I had a man who was telling me who was that controlling I would advise every woman who has a man that is that controlling to walk the fuck away from him. Okay, I really would. You know, my life does not revolve around Bruce. Like I said, I made that decision. So to find out that I was harassed at work, and it was an unjust issue, the harassment was following me even before Murray Family Farms. I was dealing with all these other issues that were related to you guys that I didn't know exactly who was causing the problem, along with my family and my ex-family and all this other stuff. And then to find out I have Bruce pretending to be my husband so he can gain some sort of control over me. This is, to me, the most disturbing. This is the sort of stuff that could cause a nervous breakdown. Seriously, I am disturbed like you don't even know. That this person that I deliberately did not marry somehow got involved in my life. And as I was sitting here telling all my employers, that I was a victim of stalking, they're sitting here with that stupid look on their face. That look on their face like, well, that stupid, what the fuck is wrong with you? I understand you guys might have these sort of relationships, but this man is a vicious, I'm going to call this man an evil being, is what I'm going to call him. Okay? I'm sitting here raising his son, whether he wants to acknowledge it or not, okay? I'm raising his son, and he's raising hell, wreaking havoc in my life while I'm trying to do it. Not paying me any child support. Then he wants to sit here and critique what I'm supposed to be doing. I mean, fuck you, dude. Okay? I am beyond angry and disgusted. And then this is the arrogance. This is the arrogance of white people. And I'm not saying all white people, but this is the arrogance of these white people, the Collins family. They actually think that I would love this. This is the problem with interracial couples. This is one of the biggest issues with interracial couples that I don't think a lot of people have talked about. But it's the arrogance of when it's time for you to walk away from an abusive relationship. People think that being white is so spectacular because on a social level, okay, obviously white people get privileges that I can never even imagine. Okay, they do all kinds of heinous crimes and do all kinds of stuff, and they completely get away with it. This is the only thing that gives white people any sort of advantage in my life. Like, I don't sit here and admire white people in general. You know what I mean? I don't sit here and think and envy them or anything, but I will tell you what I do wish I had. I wish I had the ability to do what I wanted without being harassed. That's the only difference between me and white people. Okay? But you come in and you cause your problems, and I knew that there was issues, with Bruce. And I'm scared, terrified for my life, and I got people smiling, thinking that I'm supposed to be happy over a man that has done nothing but abuse me. Yeah, I'm traumatized. I am very traumatized. And it just kept getting darker and darker. And to me, it is dark. You know why? Because I'm telling my mother that I'm making plans for my life. Now, maybe she didn't quite understand. She didn't understand a lot. My mother stayed in the house. She had my dad take care of her. So her knowledge on how the world and how it operated was very limited. Okay, after she graduated from school, she worked a little bit, and then she married my dad. So, her worldly experience is like nil. Okay, it's very black and white in my mom's mind. It's like, okay, you get pregnant, the baby needs a father, that's his father, there you go. Okay, she doesn't understand about abuse. She's abusive herself. She has no understanding of, what exactly defines abuse and why it's not appropriate to put up with it. She didn't think about the quality of her life or anything. She never thought about anything. She was a traditionalist to the point of where she didn't think for herself at all. And that was my biggest issue with my mother. Okay, is the fact that she was so closed-minded. And it wasn't even so much she was closed-minded. She just did not know anything else other than what she knew, and didn't even think to ever question, was there something else? I'm not like, I didn't marry him for a good reason. And I think I've said this in the video before. But when I think about how many years you have been in my life, me basically making all these videos saying, please stop it. I mean, you're a goddamn fucking terrorist at this point. So it's no wonder that I feel run down. It's no wonder that I'm disturbed. It's no wonder why I'm not all prepped up for that job interview, because I basically feel like I encountered somebody who represented the Ku Klux Klan. You exhibited all the characteristics of somebody who belongs to that. Why did you deny me my right to pursue my career? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm over it, okay? I get it. And maybe I didn't have a great start. But you know what? I was headed in the right direction. And my approach was completely illegitimate. You know what I mean? And the issue is, why did you feel as though a man who paid no child support, who was not my husband, had some sort of right to tell me what I was going to do and how I was going to make a living when he's not paying me for nothing? You know, I mean, how dare you? And what made you do that? Why? Because of your white supremacy. And that's just how it is. You know, I'm disturbed by it. And it's funny because you guys minimize everything that I'm telling you. Like you do, and the reason why you do this is because of your arrogance and your narcissism, and it doesn't occur to you that what you did is fucked up and wrong, and you deprived me of so many goddamn years of my life. And the more I fucking think of it, the more my fucking blood starts to boil. It fucking starts to boil. No, I don't ever want to see your fucking asses again. Don't try to smooth it over and think, oh, Bruce is some sort of fucking prize. She'll be fucking happy to be. No, I fucking want. Do you know the 90s were some of the worst years of my fucking life? The worst years of my fucking life were the 90s. Very few, aside from the 90s not really being all that great, me being around the wrong people, me not having any sort of sense of direction, just kind of lost, you know. You know, even the music really sucked back in the 90s. And I know some people are going to argue, okay, but there was only a few good songs that I remember from the 90s. Okay, the 90s were a very bleak and dark time for me. I don't like the 90s, okay. There were some of the cartoons, those precious times that I did have with my son, watching SpongeBob, and going into Hatchapee, going to that little tea shop, and then my little crafts and arts and stuff. Yeah, that was always cool. But the world around me was just to me, was starting to show itself to be even more wicked and more dark as we went along. You know. And it was something that I don't really fucking want to remember. You know what I mean? It's I want to move on from that. You know? God forbid, I don't want to see anybody from my fucking past. It's just because I figure if you were dumb enough, wicked enough, evil enough to assist these people in what these people did, then you know what? But I will tell you this. You do owe it to me to clear up my goddamn name. You do owe it to me to make sure that my name is clear in all fucking 50 states. That's what you owe it to me. Now, I know that's almost an impossible thing to do, but you owe that to me. I am not responsible and like I said, I will never live in Delaware. I am never going to live in Alaska. But if I was, but that's not the point. The point is I'm a private freed woman, and you had no right to restrict where I live, where I go, and what the fuck I do. What the fuck is wrong with you? What you did was illegal. You know? And of course I'm angry about it. I'm angry, and what you instinctively did, okay, proves a lot. So I was going to do this video, and I'm planning on doing it. It's about, music in the United States of America. It does talk a lot about Jim Crow laws, which I mentioned that before. And what Terry is she's a product of that Jim Crow era. Same Jim Crow era that I was talking about earlier in one of my other videos, where when my dad was working in the military, how he was getting attacked in the barracks by certain people. That he probably, these guys who GIs were probably from maybe the South or whatever. And then they carry these discriminating rules in their mind. They're not rules that are written in the law, obviously, but they're an unspoken rule among white people and how they're going to treat black people. You know what I mean? And so, when I think about my mom saying that she saw somebody be lynched, and then my dad got attacked in the barracks, then you start thinking, okay, well, that was my grandparents, and these white people's grandparents probably lynched people like me. Or either watched it or minimized it, didn't get really buck, and then this bitch is coming at me full force and not even really thinking what she's doing. Yeah, I have rights, and I don't like people stepping on them. And I don't appreciate you taking the liberty of making certain decisions for me and then toying with my life like it's nothing. I have rights. I don't care. You don't have to like my hair. You know what? I'm not Bruce's woman. Thank God. Thank God I'm not Bruce's woman. I don't want to be Bruce's woman. You know what woman I want to be? I want to be my own woman. Because I'm not making any effort to sit here and get back together with anybody. I understand what people talk about, what they say. And you bring your religion into it, and it prevents a woman from getting work. It's religious discrimination. What you're basing your ideas and views on are tradition, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember Rick going to the Kingdom Hall. I know that she went to the Kingdom Hall, and if Jehovah's Witness men treat their wives like that, I never saw that in any of the Watchtower Watchtower and Drac Society publications. I never saw them specifically say anything like that. But certain attitudes, get developed within certain congregations, and people act out whatever. I don't know. I never studied Jehovah's Witnesses as couples, really. But whatever the case is, these laws are written to protect women. And I know, I would say back in the 70s even, all the way up to the 70s, there was a time where women had to ask men for permission to get a job. If they were married, they had to get their husband's permission. That's not a joke. Okay, obviously that law has been removed, and thank goodness. Because, there's a lot of people from the old school who really think that that's still the same way. It's not. Women need to work. You can't just plow down whatever it is what you're doing. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if I don't have a bachelor's degree. You know what I mean? I still have the right to work. And I also still have the right to work myself up to where I could work and go to school or whatever, what I mean? But whatever the case is, it was my choice. It was my choice. I was making the effort to take care of my kid. I was making the effort to keep a roof over his head. It was my choice. Which your son basically said he wasn't going to take responsibility for it, and he wasn't going to pay child support. And I remember one time he was saying that in front of his friend Adam. Adam was kind of a jerk, but that was the only one time that Adam actually did anything right and say, hey, Bruce, that's pretty fucked up, not taking care of your kid. It's fucked up. That was the only time I remember me ever having any respect for him. Other than that, okay, it was kind of funny one time when he was singing Smooth Criminal in the in the car. It was pretty funny. But anyway, yeah. People think, you mention a white man in a relationship, and people think, wow, I'm going to tell you what, I'm really not somebody who is into status to the point where I look to get married to a white man or rich man in general. I'm not looking for that. As I get older, and I know I've had so many people, including my mother, tell me, you married for money. And I think my mom married my dad because he was going to take care of her. This is a tradition, you know what I mean? But people like me, like I said, can easily be abused. I can easily be abused. Okay, look at this situation right here. This man is financially abusing me, and he has no right to. You know what I mean? If he was married to me, and he would still have no right to, but in his mind, he would feel, and in a lot of people's stupid, ignorant minds, would feel like he had some sort of justification to do so. He doesn't. Okay, I didn't marry Bruce, and I would never want to marry Bruce. And I hope to God I never see Bruce. And like I said, I'm not somebody who wants to be disruptive, towards a relationship that he claims or tries to fake to have with my son. I don't know, and I'm staying out of it. That's his choice. But I've been traumatized way too much. Way too much. And if you want to do anything for me, you respect me and stop obstructing me. Okay? My social media channel, that was not something that I was meant to turn into something lucrative. But what if I wanted to? What if I wanted to do something on social media and you think it's okay to squash out whatever it is I plan on doing just because you don't even agree with it? Or you're telling people, oh, it's a family thing, we're in a family, or she's my girlfriend, or whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. I would never consent to that. Erase what the fuck you did. Whatever it is you did. It's not right. You know what I mean? It's wrong what you're doing, and I understand who's behind it, and it's bullshit. It's bullshit. I never asked you guys for shit. I never did, and I'm glad that I never did. Okay, I don't know why you feel compelled to like just latch on. And I had to say this because I'm really pissed off. You know, the more I think about it, the more angry I get. You know, I get angry. It's the arrogance. These guys are beyond fucking arrogant. You know, this is my biggest issue with the interracial relationship thing. Is that I don't see how a minority woman could be anything but abused in them. I certainly don't see that. And I'm not trying to create a controversy. I'm just saying is like, you know, I understand. I think interracial couples make beautiful babies. I think that, but I also think that when it comes to any, I don't believe that emotional fulfillment exists in any couple. Like I don't care if it's white on white, black on black, Korean with white or whatever. This to me, I think relationships are more of a transitional period type thing in a person's life. But you throw something together where people are just complete opposites. Now, there's certain things that people might see on the surface between Bruce and I that are similar. Like we like a lot of the same music. Okay, now I grew up listening to a lot of different music, and so that was one of the things that I found in common. But that's not enough reason to marry somebody. That's not enough reason to marry somebody. Okay, we grew up in the same time period, so we were exposed to the same kind of music. So what? Okay, just because we enjoy listening to the same music doesn't mean that I'm going to let somebody walk all over my fucking ass. You know what I mean? People use very ridiculous forms of reasoning, and they don't think about stuff like that. You know what I mean? Believe it or not all minority women want white men. And I'm going to tell you why I, as an adult, would not go out and look for a white man. For this very reason. Okay, that's a problem. Okay, it is a dangerous state. Okay, especially for someone like me who does not have any support system. I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? There's a lot of abuse that can be enacted on somebody like me. So I have to take care of myself. So anyway, it's your responsibility to clean this shit up as much as you possibly can. I don't want to be dependent and reliant upon anybody. I should not have to be. I know it's hard for you to accept, but I deserve to have my complete freedom, and I don't need to fucking remember that shit. I understand Houston is like, my son is, whatever. Like I said, I'm staying out of that relationship. And he's an adult, he's an adult. And I had to get that off my chest because it's like, there's so many things that this issue has caused. Like, it's caused me so much anger, resentment, years off my lifetime that I can never get back. Time I can never get back. That's what makes me so angry, And I'm looking at these people who are evil because you knew good and well what was causing the problem, but all you wanted to do was increase the problem and intensify it. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, I can't even comprehend that kind of evil. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video, and I will be back with another video sometime later. I want to change the content. I want to be able to address other people who might have an interest, even though I don't have 4 subscribers. And the reason why is because you guys are fucking my life over, and I don't deserve it. And no, my things are not yours, okay? It's not joint property. We're not married. Stop being stupid. I don't owe you anything. I'm going to wrap up this video.